sports because there's so many lessons you taught me. And I think the biggest one is that you can't change a fight.
Few trainers in boxing history have had as much influence on the sport as Freddie Roach. Known for his sharp eye for talent and his ability to transform fighters into champions, Roach built one of the most respected training careers in the history of boxing. Working out of the legendary Wild Card Boxing Club, he trained dozens of world champions and helped shape some of the most unforgettable moments in modern boxing. Roach himself was once a professional fighter before becoming a trainer, and his experience inside the ring gave him a deep understanding of what it takes to succeed.
Manny Pacquiao walked through my doors, and that was my Muhammad Ali. You know, I was working.
Over the years, he worked with fighters from different backgrounds, styles, and weight classes. Some were aggressive knockout artists, while others were tactical masters of the ring. Yet a few stood out in Roach's mind not just for their talent, but for their dedication, heart, and the bond they shared with their trainer. When asked about the fighters he admired most, Roach often spoke with great respect about several boxers who left a lasting impression on him. These fighters weren't just champions, they were warriors who gave everything to the sport. Here are 6 boxers Freddie Roach has consistently praised and admired throughout his legendary career. 6. James Toney. One fighter who earned deep respect from Freddie Roach was the incredibly skilled James Toney.
In every style, runners, smooth boxers. I've done it all. I'm able to adapt to anything.
During the early years of Roach's training career, Toney was one of the fighters who helped establish his reputation as a world-class trainer. Their partnership produced remarkable results, including Toney's rise to become a world champion. Toney was known for his defensive brilliance and his ability to fight effectively in close range. Unlike many fighters who relied heavily on speed or power, Toney possessed a rare ring intelligence. He could slip punches effortlessly, counter with precision, and adapt his strategy as the fight unfolded. Watching Toney in the ring often felt like witnessing a master class in boxing technique. Roach frequently praised Toney's natural talent, calling him one of the most gifted fighters he ever worked with. Despite occasional challenges outside the ring, Toney's ability inside the ropes was undeniable. His success during the early 1990s helped Roach gain recognition as a trainer capable of guiding fighters to the highest levels of the sport. 5. Miguel Cotto. Another fighter who shared a strong bond with Freddie Roach was the legendary Puerto Rican champion Miguel Cotto. When Cotto joined Roach's training camp later in his career, many observers wondered whether the veteran fighter could regain the dominance he once displayed earlier in his career.
Sometimes I couldn't, but I'm always staying away.
Under Roach's guidance, Cotto experienced a remarkable resurgence. Their partnership reached its peak when Cotto delivered one of the most impressive performances of his career against Sergio Martinez, capturing the middleweight world title. The victory proved that Cotto still possessed the skill, discipline, and determination to compete at the highest level of the sport. Roach often praised Cotto's professionalism and dedication to training. According to Roach, Cotto approached every training session with focus and respect for the craft of boxing. Their mutual trust created a strong partnership that helped Cotto extend his legendary career and secure one of the most memorable victories of his life. 4. Mike Tyson. Although their time together was relatively brief, Mike Tyson also left a powerful impression on Freddie Roach. Tyson, one of the most feared heavyweight champions in history, possessed a combination of speed, power, and aggression that made him nearly unstoppable during his prime years. Roach had the opportunity to work with Tyson during training sessions and often spoke about the incredible intensity Tyson brought into the gym. According to Roach, Tyson's punching power was unlike anything he had ever seen. Every punch carried explosive force, and his ability to deliver rapid combinations made him one of the most dangerous fighters ever to step into the ring. Beyond Tyson's physical abilities, Roach admired his dedication to the sport during his best years. When Tyson was fully focused on boxing, his work ethic and determination were extraordinary. Roach believed that Tyson's raw talent, combined with proper discipline, made him one of the most formidable fighters the sport had ever witnessed. 3. Oscar De La Hoya. Another fighter who earned tremendous respect from Freddie Roach was the charismatic superstar Oscar De La Hoya. Known as the Golden Boy, De La Hoya became one of the biggest stars in boxing during the late 1990s and early 2000s.
See if the punches are harder, see if the speed is faster or the footwork is different.
His combination of skill, marketability, and championship success helped elevate boxing's global popularity. Roach worked closely with De La Hoya during important stages of his career and admired the discipline he brought into the gym. Despite being one of the most famous athletes in the sport, De La Hoya approached training with seriousness and professionalism. Roach often emphasized how committed De La Hoya was to perfecting his technique and maintaining elite conditioning. What impressed Roach most was De La Hoya's willingness to face the toughest opponents. Throughout his career, De La Hoya consistently challenged some of the best fighters of his generation. That courage and competitive spirit earned him the admiration of fans and trainers alike. 2. Manny Pacquiao for Freddie Roach. No partnership defined his career more than the one he built with Manny Pacquiao. When Pacquiao first walked into the famous Wildcard Boxing Club, he was already a talented and explosive fighter. But at that time, he was still developing his style and searching for the right guidance to reach the next level of his career. Roach immediately saw something special in him, an unusual combination of speed, power, and relentless determination that separated him from other fighters. What impressed Roach the most was Pacquiao's work ethic. According to Roach in multiple interviews, Pacquiao was one of the most disciplined fighters he had ever trained. He was willing to spend hours perfecting techniques, repeating drills, and pushing himself through intense conditioning sessions. Pacquiao never relied purely on natural talent. Instead, he approached every training camp with the mindset of constant improvement. Roach often explained that Pacquiao listened carefully to instructions and applied them in the ring with remarkable precision. Together, the two formed one of the most successful trainer-fighter partnerships in boxing history. Under Roach's guidance, Pacquiao evolved from a powerful but somewhat raw fighter into a complete boxing machine. Roach helped refine Pacquiao's footwork, sharpen his angles, and improve his defensive awareness. These adjustments allowed Pacquiao to dominate opponents across multiple weight classes, eventually becoming the only boxer to win world titles in 8 different divisions. 1. Virgil Hill. At the top of the list is former champion Virgil Hill, a fighter who holds a special place in Freddie Roach's career. Hill was one of the early champions Roach worked with, and their partnership helped establish Roach's reputation as an elite trainer in professional boxing.
The punches of Virgil Hill. He got nobody behind him at all. He is landing some arm punches.
Hill was known for his technical style, discipline, and ability to control the pace of fights. Unlike many fighters who relied purely on aggression, Hill approached boxing with intelligence and strategy. His ability to outmaneuver opponents and score points consistently made him one of the most successful fighters in his division. Roach admired Hill not only for his skills but also for his professionalism. Hill treated boxing like a craft that required constant improvement and dedication. That mindset perfectly matched Roach's philosophy as a trainer. Their successful collaboration laid the foundation for many of the future champions Roach would guide throughout his legendary career. Over the course of his remarkable career, Freddie Roach has worked with dozens of champions and countless talented fighters. Each of them brought something unique to the ring, whether it was explosive power, technical brilliance, or relentless determination. But the fighters on this list stand out because of the impact they had on Roach both professionally and personally. From the early success he experienced with Virgil Hill to the historic achievements he shared with Manny Pacquiao, these partnerships helped define one of the greatest training careers in boxing history. Fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, Miguel Cotto, James Toney, and even the unforgettable Mike Tyson each left their own mark on Roach's journey. Together, these fighters represent different eras, styles, and personalities, but they all share one thing in common. They helped shape the legacy of Freddie Roach. And in the unforgiving world of boxing, That legacy stands as proof of what can happen when talent, discipline, and great coaching come together inside the ring.